Hello everyone, today we have a very special guest on our show tonight. We're interviewing a man named Jonathan Adams. He is a war veteran from World War I. Jonathan, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you, sir.
So I have a couple questions I have for you today. I understand that you have an amazing life and an amazing war story, am I correct?
That's right, sir.
And I've heard from your family that you don't really like talking about stories from war, is that true?
That is true. It is pretty traumatic, like all the blood and stuff.
Absolutely, I totally understand. And I'm going to try and be as sensitive as possible as I ask you these questions, all right?
All right.
So the first question I have for you is, do you blame Germany for the entirety of the war?
I think I do, sir. In my opinion, Germany is to blame for the war because they caused a lot of problems between the European countries. And not us, the USA. We were fine at first. But they were also the first ones to attack another country, which was Belgium. And why would you do that? I think that's a big cause for one of them. And, they were just being really, really aggressive in the other countries. So, they were instigating an attack, the war. So, it was inevitable in the end.
So, Mr. Adam, why did America join the war?
There were three main reasons, I think, if I recall correctly. In 1915, a German submarine U-boat thingy-majigger sank a passenger ship. I think it was called the Lusitania, something like that. But they carried rich and powerful Americans, and that's not good to us Americans. We can't have that. We can't lose these people. And the second reason is that the Germans, they decided to implement the unrestricted submarine warfare. They sunk the American ships when we were trying to send supplies over for our, trading business. But instead, they cut off supply lines and started sinking. So that's another reason. And the third reason, I think, was when we got information from the British. They intercepted the infamous Zimmerman telegram thingy-majigger, which outlined their Germany scheme, which told Mexico to attack us and they'd help us. So all those three reasons, they caused us to go into war, and that we did.
Another question that I have for you, Mr. Adams, is revolving around the wars, the specific wars. What war was the most impactful to the people around you, specifically North America?
The first one that comes to mind is the Battle of Vimy Ridge. It was involving Canada, France, and Germany. So the Allies versus Germany.
Yeah,
I think that was the most impactful.
And who won that battle? Would you mind?
Oh, I think it was the Allies, definitely. Yeah.
Canadians won?
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
And for you and for the people around you, why was this battle important?
It was important because, it was the first time that the Canadians fought together as one unit. The victory, it gave them their sense of independence, and it also recognized Canadians as some of the best troops on the Western Front. So congrats to them. Pretty good.
So, Mr. Adams, we've talked a lot tonight about other countries and what their motivations were for joining the war and the effects that the war had on them. But what do you think was the main reason for the Allies winning the war? What was the factor that pulled them through to the very end?
1 second, I need to get my jacket. Kind of cool.
Absolutely.
Cold in here,
Gets a bit chilly in here. All right.
Why we won, right?
Yes.
Oh, right. To be fair, though, I guess we won because of a lot of reasons, but I think I can outline a few main reasons. I think because simply the fact that we just outlasted the Central Powers. Germany, they fought this two-front war for most of the conflict. This grinding attrition style of trench warfare that it just took many of German lives every single day. And I guess when the United States, when we entered the war, we brought in a huge industrial base, already manufacturing war materials and stuff like that, and we just brought in a lot of fresh people, Yeah, I guess, and also there's no way Germany could win long term with us, the United States, just coming in near the end. Like their economy was bankrupt. They were teetering and tottering, so they couldn't last for that long anymore, and they exhausted their manpowers, and they were just forced to push for peace, I guess.
Yes, that's a great, fantastic answer, Mr. Adams. And I know this next question is a little bit touchy because it's a very sensitive topic for all war veterans who've managed to survive their war.
Okay.
But how did the death of your men and your fellow friends affect you and your country?
Well, it really affected us, in many different ways, especially personally, because, it's like your friends, they're by your side, 1 second later, they can be gone, shot in the head, just dead on the floor. I don't know. I experienced that with a few of my friends, and, I can't help but, tear up every single time, because, my friends, I miss them, and I just don't know what would happen if we didn't have the war and they'd still be alive. But it really impacts us soldiers personally because they're friends, Yeah, I guess not much more to say because I hate talking about this topic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sorry for your loss, Mr. Adams.
Thank you.
Okay, so Mr. Adam, I have one last question for you tonight before we wrap things up.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for your time, by the way. What were the effects of the war on America for you, for the country, and for the everyday citizen?
It affected us in many ways, actually. Mainly 3 ways, I think. Political, economical, and social. Unlike the countries of Europe, our factories and our homes, they were never destroyed because the war never came on our home turf. Instead, it was over there, so our homeland wasn't really affected. Instead, manufacturing and production and efficiency, it actually increased a lot through its necessity because soldiers need them. They need our home help. So, yeah, we just had to help them, So, America, we emerged as this world industrial leader, and it just boomed. Our economy was just rising and rising, and it just wouldn't stop. And it led to the period in American history called the Roaring '20s. It was the massive rise of consumerism. So, but there's also a negative side of effects, which include inflation and prices. Companies, corporations, they just started to reduce our wages for the workers here, and as a result, also created a competition for employment. And competition, it creates a lot of problems like racism, especially because African Americans, they were coming over here. So yeah, they had to fire a lot of workers and create strikes and outrages.
Thank you, Mr. Adams. So overall, do you think the war was beneficial or detrimental to America?
I think it was very beneficial because I think the good outweigh the many by a lot. Because we wouldn't be here today without the war itself and just our history, because that's what history does. It brings us to where we are today.
Thank you so much, Mr. Adams, for the interview. It was lovely having you on the show tonight. And good night to everyone at home. But how did death affect you and your country?
Ooh, that question. That was one of the questions that really impacts me because I had many friends on the front line with me in the trenches. It was a very horrid sight to see. My friends by my side just dying in front of me, their blood spattering all over my face. That's disgusting. Just their guts filling the floor. I can't. I was